Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Societal Narcissism. No contribution with this video. Haven't done one of these in a while because it's just been too hot. So I figured, you know what? Nothing came in overnight again. So let me go try it in the morning with the sunrise on the river. You know, it's a little cooler right now. So let's see how this goes. Again, like I said, nothing came in. However, the Gen X video is over 2,000 views and the other ones are just freaking languishing. So I don't want to belabor the point. I wanted to move on. Haven't discussed politics in a little bit, and there's been a lot going on. There's been a lot going on in the country and internationally with peace deals, and you know, our good friends over in Ireland. The one thing I talked about, and you know, it's bigger than it appears. It's big to me because you all know I'm Armenian, you know, and I've talked about this several times. Is the peace deal between Azerbaijan and Armenia, and you know, I'm thrilled as an Armenian. You know, it's gonna stop, you know, the genocide that's being funded by Israel. The genocide being funded by Israel. No, I'm not talking about Gaza. I'm talking about them funding weapons to Azerbaijan to wipe out all these ethnic Armenians. And look, Israel and Armenians have been at odds since the formation. It's not only you think they treat Christians bad over there, okay? You see how they treat Armenians, because Armenia was the first Christian nation. We were the first ones as a nation to say yes to Jesus. Yes to Jesus. So the Armenians do a pilgrimage in Israel because it's a holy land, and go look at what happens over there. It's not good. But the overall deal, like I said, I'm happy that the killing's going to stop. But again, this is why I'm saying when the bombing went on in Iran, even though I wasn't happy with it, okay, I think it was to prove a point to Israel. You only have 5-6 days of this that you can get away with, and then you're going to have to turn to your nukes. It's very apparent that a nation of 9 million, no matter how much trouble they're causing, okay, they have the ability to cause, they can only take it so far militarily. They got maybe 8-9 days in them, and then they're out of weapons, they're out of people, and they don't have enough nuclear weapons where they could wipe out an entire nation. It's not the size of Iran. Even if they used them all on Iran could have marched right across and overtaken them easily at that point. Why? Because they had run out all their weapons. They depleted all their weapons and they were screwed. So this move with Israel and Azerbaijan, you know, I mean, Azerbaijan and Armenia, really is another move in snipping the nuts of Netanyahu. Because Netanyahu is funding his bullshit and his alliances and their nonsense, causing these issues, you know, to keep Turkey happy. And it's a big move. It's a big move. So I'm happy with it. And I forget, I'm sorry, I'm sure you're probably watching. Somebody clipped a video of me down here. It's a good video. I'm not complaining about it. From when the Supreme Court decision came down about the deportations, and I'm like, let's go. So somebody clipped that, made it into a video. It is pretty cool. But what my point of that video was, like, you got no more excuses domestically. None. I don't want to, I want to see mass deportations. I want to see crying mothers. I want to see it all. I want to see people getting arrested. Haven't seen anybody get arrested yet. okay? But they are making some pretty big promises. They better be able to, all I'm saying is they better be able to fulfill them. They better be able to fulfill them. That's the water taxi. That one you have to pay for. That takes you all the way up and down, but it's cheap. Then you got the water trolley, which looks just like it, but smaller. That you can pick up here. They'll pick you up and take you down to Los Olos. It's pretty awesome. So, there they go. Okay. So, like I said, like, they got a lot of promises to keep. But when you're seeing what's happening in New York with Letitia James and her mortgage fraud, Adam Schiff and his mortgage fraud, Adam Schiff being caught now leaking documents to hurt Trump that he knew were a lie. I mean, they got a lot out hanging out there. And as far as the Epstein thing, you know, I'm not letting it go. Most of MAGA's not letting it go. We understand that they probably put some stuff in there on Trump. If they had had that before, they would have used it. So I think that file became a mess. We've learned that there was some kind of hidden burn room in the FBI that nobody knew about except like the higher ups that Kash Patel found. So they're going through a lot of stuff. I mean, and here's the thing, if you're on the right and you're disappointed that you haven't seen anything yet, you have to understand, in order to do a proper investigation, it takes time. You got to make sure all your I's are dotted and all your T's are crossed. Why? Because you're going before some communist judge, you know, 90% of the time, that is going to be looking to rip your case apart and put a stranglehold on you. And I said this. It's not like Kash Patel could have just started waving his book around the first day he got confirmed and start arresting people on that, regardless of what his position was before or the investigations he had done. It has to be done in the capacity of the FBI, unfortunately. So it takes time. But we are seeing movement. Okay, you know, I found it fascinating when I found out that the Department of Justice never spoke to Ghislaine Maxwell once, never questioned her, never interrogated her, nothing. And who was in charge of that? And who was in charge of that case? Oh, that's right, Jim Comey's daughter, the same prosecutor who was in charge of Diddy's case. Weird. Good thing she got ditched, huh? So, socially, societally, politically, I think things are looking pretty good, you know? And now yesterday with Trump telling Washington, D.C., yeah, we're not listening to you. You're not running anything. Oh, you have a council, great. You treat them no differently than you treat a high school student council. Oh, you have demands? That's nice. You can tell me about it during detention that you're going to be sitting in for the next 3 days. Okay, you got any more demands? That's how you got to treat them. And if you saw the press conference from the mayor, Bowser, after it, she looked relieved. Even though she was saying, you know, this is authoritarian and there's no reason, she really was pulling her punches. You could see the relief on her face because she wants to be able, she wants this to get cleaned up because she knows at this point, they know they can't get out from under this. But they can't admit that Trump was right. They just can't. So this allows her to have, which is what they wanted. They always want, they want the title, they want the authority, but they don't actually want to do the work. So this works out for everybody, you know? So maybe if and what they're terrified now of, if he does this in D.C., and D.C. is a different category because it's a district. It's not a state, you know, it's not a city within a state that you can just, you know, wave your hand and say, okay, we're just taking this over. You know, states have different rights. District of Columbia is a completely different ballgame. So, and there is a law, the home rule law, that allows the president to do this. That's why the mayor said, we can't even fight this. Because our lawyers told us that the president has that authority. Well, when you see some of the cases that have been brought against Trump, the ridiculous case, like that doesn't stop them. That doesn't stop them because they can always, especially in Washington, D.C. You think Boatsberg wouldn't sign a TRO if this case was in? He's dying to sign that TRO. That's bullshit. They want this to happen. Don't let them fool you. They're full of shit. They absolutely want this to happen. They sue Trump for any and everything. The most ridiculous, unconstitutional rulings are made against them until they're overturned on appeal, either at the appellate court or the Supreme Court. They have no problem going into court and looking like assholes on appeal, just as long as they can slow them down. But this is such a problem. The crime, and let's just call it what it is, the fatigue has become such a problem that, you're in 94 New York City category where, the 94 crime bill comes back and, they're electing Giuliani and stop and frisk, and people look the other way for 20 years because they didn't want to go back. But after 20 years and a new generation pops up, people didn't remember what the 70s and 80s and early 90s were like. They're getting a taste of it now, though. I think that's where we're at. We're almost back to look, the biggest mistake Trump made in 2020, okay, was coming out against that 94 crime bill. Okay? It was the one thing the Democrats had right. And the only reason they had it right is because Clinton was in so much trouble with impeachment and everything had turned such a disaster for them. They had lost the House and the Senate in 94. So the country had struck back. I think we're there again now. And I think we're there again now. And when Trump comes out against Biden, because Biden pushed it, I don't care, I don't want this person mugging and killing my family, he was right. When Hillary called them super predators, she was right. She wasn't wrong on that. That was the only thing they've ever been right on. That was a mistake, and I think Trump has definitely learned his lesson from it. So, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully some stuff comes in today because, geez, what is it, Tuesday? It's been since Friday. So, not Friday because I had the one yesterday. So, it's been one since Friday. And that ain't gonna work. I could join ICE. I could just join ICE. So they lifted the age requirement. I'm more than qualified with my resume. So maybe that'll be maybe if it don't pick up in another month or two, maybe I'll be joining ICE and chasing people down again. I used to love that shit. I loved catching criminals. I loved that shit. I would love it. I mean, I'm old, so. Well, the other problem is I popped my calf again, went out yesterday. Like, did a little hop out of my chair and re-injured it. Like, nothing. I was like a half inch off the ground, and the goddamn thing popped again. So, maybe I could do administrative. Nah, I could keep working out. I could get this in shape and chase down illegals in Home Depot. That would be awesome. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. Again, I'm wide open for the day, so if you have anything, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you want to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with either the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and email links in the description box below. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to subscribe to both channels on Rumble. If you haven't watched the video over there, please do. Even a click helps. Follow me on X and Telegram as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care, everyone.